Today's edition of Inside the Outdoors is with Steve Kazmarek from Colorado Springs. He's the president of Fatbikes, which makes the Borealis brand. The company was founded in 2013. Steve comes from a background in competitive sailing, which brought a number of design ideas, materials ideas that he transferred over to the building of this ultralight fat tire bike. The company's been recognized a number of times. They've been selected as one of the top 250 companies in Colorado twice. And just this year, they received the Best in Class from the Gear Institute. So Steve, thanks for coming up and driving.
Nice to be here.
Good to see you again. And after we had our family trip on the Rogue River this summer.
Yeah, that was a nice trip.
Brought us back together. So
yeah.
That was a blast to do with the families.
Yes, it was.
So tell us about the company, the brand, how you developed it, how you got to this point, kind of the story, what you want to tell folks about Borealis.
Yeah, it's it's kind of a neat story. I had a nice exit from a packaging company that I was involved with. Started teaching the entrepreneur class at Colorado College down in Colorado Springs, and met a student there who came from the fat bike industry. And he and I started talking, and there weren't any carbon fiber fat bikes out at the time, and getting parts was a problem. So we kind of put the two together, changed the geometry a little bit, and in 2013 introduced our first bike. Since that time, a lot's happened. We've sold over $12 million worth of bikes, which is kind of exciting. The downside is competition from everywhere has come into the category. So now it's a little bit of a struggle to stay relevant, get new dealers. You know, it's people expect a lot, and the good news is Borealis delivers.
So what's on the horizon with the Borealis brand and new product, technology, composites, materials?
Yeah, great question. So yeah, the challenge is always to stay at that cutting edge. You know, I always say if you're leading, the view is great. If you're behind, it's not so great. So this year we're introducing our new Crestone Aspen edition. So it's a new color scheme. We always name something after Colorado in either our components or models. So it's after Mount Crestone and obviously Aspen, Colorado. And this year it's really focused on the components. So we're shifting to the SRAM. We use exclusively SRAM components. And we're looking at the Eagle system, which is a 1x12. And so last year, for the last 2 years, it was 1x11. And now it's a 1x12 gearing system that really gives us a little bit better low-end options when we went to the 1x versus a 2x10, which was 3-4 years ago.
So looking ahead to the rest of this year and into 2018 for your company in particular, what's the biggest obstacle or challenge you're working on with continuing to build the company and the brand?
Yeah, so right now we're ready for the fall. I mean, our season started basically 3 weeks ago when orders start coming in. So inventory is in, production has a backlog. I mean, we're filling orders as fast as we can. That will carry through, really through the end of this year. And pending snowfall into January, February will kind of determine when you get to the top of that bell curve and start shifting down. What we have to do is really figure out what do we do different next year.
Where do you see digital marketing in your future for the company, or what are some of the things you're looking at either doing with it or challenges in digital marketing that you face with brand and getting the word out?
Yeah, great question. So part of the reason why I'm here with you is to figure out how do I have a business model that supports the dealer base, and they deserve some margin for what they do. The challenge then becomes, how do I sell a $5,000 or $6,000 bike into an area that doesn't have one of our dealers, where they can't ride it, they can't see it, they can't touch it, and they're going to want a discount for that. And that, I don't know, duplicity, I guess, if you will, in the market is going to be a challenge, and that's really what we need to figure out.
Do you have some successes in digital marketing now you can think of that come to mind? what you feel good about?
Initially, we didn't have to do a whole lot because the company was growing so fast and the demand was so high. We did, about 2 years ago, we did some ad campaigns using Google AdWords, and we also used some Facebook, and we were doing some, a very small amount with Twitter, but mostly Facebook and Google AdWords. And that seemed to drive a lot of traffic, but it was indirect. So we weren't getting conversions online, and we didn't, because of the dealer dynamic, we didn't have a store online. We didn't have e-commerce. So we got a lot of bikes sold indirectly to our dealers. It was when we put the online store that we started seeing more conversions.
Well, thank you for coming. So we
you.
appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed this edition. We'll see you next time.